The hottest pop culture stories of the day, like Savannah Chrisley gets a guest spot on this talk show, and people are irate. Plus, are we over talking about this? We're probably not. We want to hear more from Brianna Chicken Fry. This is Hot to Go. I'm Brittany.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Mike.
And Savannah Chrisley from the Chrisleys Know All, from the, I guess, locked up couple. We've got Savannah Chrisley. She was filling in. As we know, one of the hosts on The View had their baby. So she was filling in on The View. Now, I don't really know. When I first heard the story that she was filling in, I didn't really think it was that big of a deal, but it's about a 50-50 split on if she should have a platform. A lot of people are going to a place of, I won't be watching. Some people just don't need a platform. As we know, Savannah Chrisley was a big part of getting her parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley. They were sentenced to 12 and 7 years in federal prison. And then when she was advocating constantly for them, the president ended up pardoning them.
And they were there because of taking millions of dollars from, I don't know, the everyday person.
You, me, your grandma, your grandpa.
Yeah. And pretending that they made all that money very honestly by their very lavish lifestyle that, people wanted to emulate.
Yeah.
Really, they were taking your money and my money.
It was one of the weirdest moments. And this happens a bunch in reality TV where it was like, yeah, it felt weird that you were that rich. And it was. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of holes in your story because there are.
Yep.
Like 1 + 1 does equal 2.
This is an interesting choice from The View. Clearly, they're doing it to get people talking.
Yeah.
To get numbers up, to get viewership up, because people who don't want to see Savannah Chrisley in the spot will tune in just to hate on it and see how it goes. I still don't. I am, though, of the fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That family doesn't get to have another platform. All right, great. Good for you that you got your parents out of jail. Now go home. Be done. I don't need to see you on my screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was there was things that happened. She tried to bring up kind of a false claim that people felt about one political side, to which Whippy said, No, you're not saying that. There was a moment where somebody kind of put her in her place. I shouldn't say put her in her place. I'm not trying to act like. But
they were like, this is our show and you don't get to say that.
Yeah, pretty much. And you're right. I wonder what the views, their ratings are, what their viewership is. Because I go, yeah, there has to be a big part of them. They normally don't want somebody salacious like this on there. But then you go, yeah, well, they kind of need it. I don't know what else we talk about The View.
I know in most markets they're number one at their time slot.
Oh, that's great.
And salacious and spewing incorrect facts are one thing, but I think the one thing The View at least has always tried to been is bringing in people from different perspectives and having those conversations. So it's understandable when one person's out that you bring another person in that might, I don't know, have a different perspective than everybody else has been hearing from. And I think that's why they did it. But then again, she decided to go with some stories and some things that maybe are not the most factual.
It's in those moments
that cause an issue.
Yeah, in those moments too, you can really show your unprofessionalism. Hey, Savannah Chrisley, some of the things you're getting from your weird algorithms to say bold-facedly, is a fact, is this isn't the time. You show up, you kind of toe the line a teeny bit or just showcase, you lean in. Honestly, I'm just going to be honest. She leans into her Christian, roots and Republican Christian roots because that's what she was hired. You just kind of toe that line a little bit. But the idea that she's so unaware of what the masses or the viewer, the View viewership is you're showing your noobness. Does that make sense? You don't know what you're doing here because to go full blown conspiracy theorist day one, not the place, doll.
Yeah, I think it was a bad move.
The radar that goes up for me is, does this mean Hulu / ABC is the landing spot for the next Chrisley show? Because you know it's coming.
I know it's coming.
You know Chrisleys are getting another show. And that's why when I heard this, I was like, oh, that's NBC, right? No, of course. No, it's not. That's ABC. Again, I expected because of the relationship they had with USA that they, I think, were on for the longest time. That's all NBC Universal. I was like, okay, where's the connective tissue here? I bet you there's a Hulu series on the way.
I got weird. Okay. The Chrisleys having a platform I'm not chill with, mostly because like their TV show was bad in general, and that's the most offensive thing of it all.
Right? Like this wasn't even good to begin with.
It wasn't good show. Like I love a good villain arc. I love a good reality show. And I don't think anyone's shocked to know like me and Savannah Chrisley will not align on most of our viewpoints. But I have a weird soft spot for her because she was stuck with a lot of responsibilities. Like she had to raise her, like I think a couple of her siblings. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, you know how scary that would be from a 20-something-year-old who was just like freed? There was a lot of pressure for her. I remember like there was a big conversation about when she cut her hair and her parents were like, now you're ugly. So I have a soft spot for her. So like a part of me was like, yeah, like be that right-wing Christian girl on things. Mm. But I don't know if I can get behind her family being back on TV.
No, and if you're going to go back on TV, maybe don't just like spout conspiracy theories.
Yeah, take a beat. Don't like the first thing you say is that weird email you get from your uncle.
Hey, Jim, enough.
Enough. Just take a beat.
Okay, have we had enough of this celebrity? Brianna Chicken Fry, for whatever reason, is like, hey, you guys aren't listening to me enough, so I'm going to bring up Zach Bryan again. Because that seemed to work really well the first time, and it did.
You know, and she did give up, what, $12 million to sign an NDA? So she's got to go back to that. Well, she has to make up for that $12 million that she didn't take from Zach Bryan.
It's funny you bring up that NDA because that's exactly what she was talking about. The $12 million insane offer that Zach Bryan gave her to shut up about their relationship. So she was talking about this on the Impulsive. That's the one of the Paul brothers.
Logan.
Thank you. Logan Paul's podcast. And she said, here's the deal. One of the stipulations was that I couldn't be on social media.
Wow.
And she's like, I literally could not have done my job. It was out of the question. She said, even part of it was that I couldn't do anything with Barstool Sports. Her BFFs podcast that she had at the time with Josh Richards and Dave Portnoy. She's like, he literally was going to, here's $12 million, so you don't have to work technically. And she's like, but I love what I do. And I don't want to not work.
When you frame it like that, because I was always walking that line of what would you guys do? Mm-hmm. If somebody offered you $12 million to never talk about your relationship, and I'm like, I could see us saying, all right, like there's enough around that of me saying I can't talk about it, and you guys would go, oh, it must be dark, like because you knew she signed an NDA. Like there'd be enough assumptions there that I'd feel okay with it. Mm-hmm. But the reality of it is this girl's getting like $3-4 million contracts to do her job.
Right.
So $12 million for not to be able to do her job for how many years? And then pretty much then never again. I mean, at that point, if you've left
out
the zeitgeist for that long, yeah, actually doesn't make that much sense for her.
No, and in her words, it was such a terrible relationship that she felt the need to say something. She said in the past, there are other women that he's dated that I know have had to sign these NDAs, and they didn't have the resources that I have. I could say no.
I mean, they are all the ones that posted to Taylor Swift music about like screw him as soon, popping bottles as she was talking about like I'm not signing this NDA. And both of those women came out with videos being like, I can't say anything, but like, if this doesn't indicate that, I don't know what would. And they didn't get $12 million.
No, not at all. That wasn't all she talked about. Mm-hmm. She also talked about her relationship with her ex-bestie, Grace O'Malley. They used to have a podcast together, and they just slowly drifted apart, right? Well, when asked straight up, are you friends with Grace O'Malley? What happened? She said, we're not friends. We'll never be friends again.
Whoa.
But there was no beef to begin with, and the internet made it so much worse than it was. And it's so annoying. So she didn't ever say why they will never be friends again, but she said, she didn't name one specific thing, but she would say this. She said, my old best friend, Grace, hated my boyfriend. hello, Zach Bryan. She hated him and she wasn't very supportive of our relationship, which was like a tension thing. And everybody's been there, right? Where they're like, oh yeah, I could kind of see that. And then Brianna Chicken Fry's like, but then what was actually really bad was that a lot of people were bullying me on the internet because I was dating him and he's a jerk. And she's like, I just said, Grace, can you do something? Can you help me? Can you stand up for me? And in her words, her bestie was like, no, I'm not going to touch it. And she said, that was for me, like, that was the end.
Yeah, I think that enough bridges were burned in the sake of this relationship that like there's neither of them could come back from it.
No. And it's sure like Grace is like, what did I do so wrong? I hated he was a horrible person, which you're now making money off the fact that he was a horrible person.
And these things, a lot of these things happened in front of Grace. She went and talked about the time they were at one of their birthdays bonfires. They're having this big birthday bonfire, and Zach Bryan like lost his mind, screamed at everybody there, including Grace, including Bree. And she had to go. She was like, "What the hell, Bree? Like this is not okay." And she's like, "No, it'll be fine." Like, I mean, Bree was in it. Bree was in an abusive relationship and couldn't see past that. And we've seen this. This is a tale as old as time. We've talked about this when we did our domestic abuse roundtable. It's that isolating you from your friends because you're covering for this person. And because of that, your relationships are so strained. I think this is the first time that they couldn't. I mean, Grace was told you can't speak your truth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Plus, on top of that, they also, Brianna Chicken Fry still worked for the company, Barstool Sports, at that time, where Grace was actively kind of going after them a little bit. And that's where she disputed I made no money during that time and ultimately left and went over to Alex Cooper's podcast, Unwell. So there was a lot going on both personally and professionally with that whole back and forth.
And the final little piece of this interview with Logan Paul's podcast was that they brought up, isn't it funny that his new wife, Zach Bryan's new wife, looks just like you?
What?
And his co-host, Logan Paul's goes, man, like people just have a type, you know? And Brianna Chicken Fry shut that down so fast. She goes, not a single woman he ever dated looked like me until this. She goes, that's the thing. That's what narcissists do. You clearly don't know anything about them. It's so obvious. He literally picked someone who looked like my doppelganger. And she does. She's not wrong.
No, she looks just like her.
We have eyes.
Yeah.
We can see that. I just thought it was interesting how she's like, he never dated someone that looked like me. And I've been telling you this whole time he's a narcissist and this is what they do.
Also, shut up, co-host.
Yeah, right?
You know what I mean?
You?
I don't know. We don't even have your name. We don't care about your opinion. We're here to hear what like Brianna Chicken Fry. I think it's enthralling. I will say this. If you're a Zach Bryan fan, you're always going to be a Zach Bryan fan.
Yeah.
I mean, music kind of a lot of times emotionally dominates what's going on with that person's personal life. There's something about the music that transcends and people are able to compartmentalize. I mean, I think Michael Jackson is a perfect example of that. Right. So, like, you're not going to change hearts and minds, but I think that it is great that somebody is speaking out on this only because a lot of people can relate to being in relationships with physically, mentally, or verbally, or whatever, emotionally abusive people. And like the toll it takes and watching somebody walk away from a shut your mouth deal feels good. And I know people don't like her. A lot of people don't like her because they're like, why are you famous? And I'm like, I don't think that matters. I think people lie. Especially, we watched her on, what was the show, Mike?
Special Forces.
And I think she's strong. And I like that about her. And I think she was she was obviously madly in love. This man pushed her to a level of like isolation. I mean, she was touring with him. Yeah. They shared animals and he, absolutely used that as a token of like, if you leave me, like I will do things to these animals. Like that is so scary. And I think everything she's saying is so textbook where you go, if you don't believe her, then like think about why. Why don't you believe her? Okay, another woman who the internet sure is split on is Brandy Glanville. We've talked about her face parasite. Yeah, we've talked about it.
She's got parasite.
We aren't scared to talk about a face parasite. She's got her ongoing health struggles with said facial parasite. Well, she thinks she knows where it's from.
Seriously, this thing that we've been talking about for years at this point.
years.
Okay.
This facial parasite is older than our show.
It's true.
She's
Long live the facial parasite.
At this point, name it. Name them. So she had breast implants that ruptured. She talked about, hey, they had completely ruptured and I had silicone all over my lymph nodes. That's what caused the infection in my face and couldn't get out because my lymph nodes were all clogged.
Huh?
So she believes her facial parasite is from
Her boobs?
her fake breasts rupturing.
Like, does she think this or did somebody else, like, confirm this?
I don't really know. We just kind of get a lot of information from her, even though there was the whole Dr. Dubrow of it all, who's like, I'll get to the bottom of it. Never heard from him again.
Yeah, I was like, did I miss that?
And we never heard from him again. He didn't die, I promise. He just didn't report back.
He was like, yeah, remember when I said I didn't get to the bottom of it?
He's like, that person's crazy. I would like less of that, please.
It is wild because this was such a huge story for a long time and it did look really bad. Like, her skin looked uncomfortable and painful and awful. And this is a person who's made a living, made a career, made a lifestyle off of the way that they look.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brandy's beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot going on here. I think both we have to look under the skin and maybe under the hood a little bit because I think she's got a lot going on. She's always been a very complex young lady.
And she's had a lot of facial surgeries before facial parasite.
I think she's had a lot of work done and also dabbles in taking whatever would make her feel good in the moment. So yeah, she's also, always felt bad for Brandy as well. She's a real housewife of Beverly Hills, but she was like, still is probably, her or Kim Richards are like, not like super wealthy. So they had to like keep up with the Vanderpumps of it all. These women who own giant restaurants or the Kyle Richards. And I'm always like, that's not really a cool vibe. Like there's always an upper hand to be had when you're like, hey, come on my jet. And she's like, I'll give you a ride to the airport, you know? And I'm not saying like having money is everything, but on a show like that,
it is.
Kind of is. Like I just feel like there's the whole have and have nots feelings and like inadequacies around both her and Kyle Richards. Thank you. Thought about it a lot.
It's Hot to Blow.
At this point in Hot to Go, we head over to Mike Ganger, our producer and blind item expert. What secret on the internet might be the next to blow?
Well, sometimes when you're acting, you go method. You get into it. And sometimes maybe a little too far. And reports are that might be exactly what's happening with Barry Keoghan. He is in, well, first off, I posted and put the picture in there of for you two of his long hair Ringo Starr look. Because, of course, he's filming one of the 4 biopics that are coming out that are all going to be tied together with the Beatles. He's portraying Ringo Starr, and it sounds like, based on some reports of On the Scene, he might be going a little too method with the standpoint of he's opened up about having some addiction issues the same way Ringo Starr maybe was having addiction issues, drinking too much, having points of his life where he did so much cocaine, he called it just kind of a hazy point in his entire life. Well, people are concerned that maybe Barry is saying, well, this is my opportunity to, lean back into everything for work. Because, I'm trying to be a good actor. I'm trying to portray this character. And it's got some people just... I guess a little worried about him.
I will say this. The one thing I'm really worried about
is his hair.
Is his hair. He looks like the girl from Pen 15, Maya.
I don't know who that is.
I don't either, but as soon as you started with he looks like the girl from Pen 15.
So there's this TV show called Pen 15 where these 2 adult comedians play young like girls, like teenagers, and called Pen 15. Like, remember when you'd write Pen 15 on your hand? And one of these actresses, Maya, I think it's like Maya Erskine is the actress's name, but she has this like mushroom cut haircut. It's giving Toad. It's giving like
it looks like a bad wig.
And
That's Ringo Starr, yeah.
It could be hockey hair.
Nope. That's not how that works.
Nope. We're going to shut that down real quick.
You can't get a helmet on that thing.
Nope. That's awful. That's atrocious.
Yeah.
I know there are more serious things to talk about right now, but that hair is like a mop.
It might be our number one concern, and I'm not even joking when I say that.
That's a crime against humanity.
Against humanity.
To do that to a man that we thought was borderline hot, that Sabrina Carpenter dated?
I'd still.
No, if that walked into your house, you would put it right back out the door.
Sometimes I'm worried that you don't know me.
That? Stop.
I mean, I'd laugh at it. I'd be like,
get the shears.
They're saying it.
I don't think cutting it would help.
In the door.
I don't think putting. You don't want to add volume to it. I will say that. Like, I'm a little nervous if we cut it too much. Things could happen.
It said a trap. It looks like a muskrat or something. Like, what is this?
I don't know.
It literally has its own zip code. It's so bad.
He's gone full Ringo, and he's like playing around with like the addiction of it all.
Well, that's the problem with it, because again, he's opened up with the fact he actually has talked very candidly. He lost his mom at the age of 12 due to a heroin addiction. His father died from similar struggles. He has struggled with both alcohol abuse, substance abuse issues throughout his entire life. But as of last year, we were in the understanding that he was, quote, at peace, sober, and taking responsibility for some of his previous actions and focusing on being a father. So that's where we've heard things most recently. It just sounds like, again, in the deepest, darkest spots of the internet, maybe some people that are on the set for this movie, there's a belief that maybe he's leaning back into some of those old habits.
That would make me really sad.
Yeah.
Because when he and Sabrina Carpenter split up and she wrote Man-Child, people were digging on him hard. And I remember him coming out and being like, listen, you can say what you want about me, but my son will read this. I'm asking you to please stop for his sake. Mm-hmm. I'm going to focus on being his dad. And I think that the priority there has always been pretty straightforward for him. And so it makes you sad if that's true to hear that like addiction might be getting in the way of anything in his life.
For sure.
As it does, you know?
Yeah, this makes me feel, that like, I think it's because we literally hear that. We have heard different reports around the mother of his child that he's not always present.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like the last thing you need is this nonsense.
Yeah.
So again, just I guess something we'll keep an eye on, watch, because they are working on that project right now. The filming is taking place. I don't think it comes out till 2028 though. He playing the role of Ringo Starr with all those other massive names like Joseph Quinn, Harrison Dickinson, and Paul Mescal.
Can we all agree on this? Barry Keoghan is amazing, an amazing actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oscar nominated. I mean, yeah.
And if his haircut was a little better, we'd all open mouth kiss him.
Of course.
He doesn't hit the trifecta. I'm a no. I'm a hard pass.
We're still looking for that trifecta.
Mm-hmm.
He's close.
There's someone out there.
Hey guys, send us your pictures. Please don't.
Our hot mess, day 2 of this week. I mean, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, boy.
It's still midweek.
Oh, still midweek. You've got time. We reported yesterday that he was arrested in New Orleans. It's Mardi Gras. To get arrested on Bourbon Street in Mardi Gras, you got to be working hard. But he did it. He managed it. A couple things have happened since then.
He went home and he had a good tea and thought about his
actions.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Part number 1, he gets out of jail and immediately goes back onto Bourbon Street. In fact,
double down, don't quit.
Double down.
You can't. Double jeopardy. Is that it? Can't get charged for the same thing twice.
Yep.
You can go ahead, but another person.
So as of Wednesday, he was wearing sunglasses and a big old party chain and said, "Free me," on social media. Here's step 1.
Also, where'd you get the shirt? Did you have it made?
No, it just said "Free me."
I know.
Not the shirt. The
post. Okay, the caption. I went, wow. Here I am trying to get Reformation to send me a free Dump Him shirt. And I'm like, how did he get that made so quick?
So fast. So that was number 1. He's out of jail. He's partying all over again. Number 2, we've gotten some video of some alleged altercations. And you're like, I don't know if they're alleged when you can see them. But one of them is that one of the bars that he went into where he is shirtless and got in a fight was because he told the bartender he would bleep him up if he touched him when the bartender was trying to give him water.
Cool vibe.
Another one is where maybe he found his shirt again, but his arms are inside of it like you do when you're really cold.
I do that a lot.
And he's yelling at this older guy and headbutts him. Older
Because
guy
his-
doesn't do anything.
He could
What's-
punch him.
Yeah, because his arms were in his shirt.
He was
Kendall.
T-Rex in it.
You're
Like, he couldn't punch him.
stupid
But
girl.
guys, that's not when he actually got arrested. Okay?
Like, that's just showcasing you how insane you can get at Mardi Gras
Yeah.
before there's actual consequences for your actions.
When he actually got arrested is because he was without a shirt, without one of his shoes, and people were quote unquote pummeling him, multiple people. When officers stepped in, paramedics were like, hey, we got to help this guy out. And there's pictures of him getting essentially like put on to a stretcher with a handcuff. And he's just standing there and he's like, what? I'm fine. We cool.
Wow.
This man is a mess.
Free Shia. Should we make free Shia shirts?
Stop.
No.
I know.
Oh my God.
What a wreck of a human. He lives there.
He
Yeah, we
lives
found
there.
that out yesterday as well. He just bought $1 million home in New Orleans because after his wife, Mia Goth, broke up with him, he moved back there to be closer to family.
That's
And-
why I moved there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely
closer
not
to
closer to Bourbon Street.
closer to when he has to get picked up from the freaking jail. Hey, if you think Shia LaBeouf said, let's double down and go hard, and
Do you think he knew his mom's number by heart?
then you make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all the things, because Hot to Go is here on the old YouTube.